Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. I hope you all are doing absolutely well. Guys, in today's video, we are going to cover verbal ability questions which are for LTI Mindtree. So make sure to watch the video till complete end because you will be getting a different mixed set of questions, okay, that are coming from the topic verbal ability. So guys, before we start the video, if you are new to the channel, consider subscribing to the channel as I regularly post these kinds of helpful videos for all of you on daily basis on my channel. Also, there is a complete playlist on my channel related to LTI prep. Make sure to check this playlist. You will find more actual questions of LTI assessment in this playlist. So without wasting any time, let's get started with the first question. Let's look at this question. The question is identify the error in the given sentence. So we have been given a sentence and we have to find the error in this sentence and which is that part where the error is. So out of 4 options, we have to select that part which has the error. So let's see what is the sentence given to us. I am literally melting because it's the hottest month of June. It's 47 degrees out here. And we have the options as month of June. I am literally melting. It's 47 degrees out here because it's the hottest. Okay, so we have these 4 options. I would suggest pause for a minute, think of the correct answer and then approach with the final solution. So let's now find out what is the correct answer for this one. The correct answer for this one is month of June. Okay, so this part has error in it. Okay, now why it has error and what will be the correct answer? Okay, so what will be the correct sentence? The correct sentence will be I'm literally melting because it's the hottest month June. Okay, so this off is actually redundant, which is not needed. So it should be like either it should be like it's the hottest month, or we can even say it's the hottest month June, but month of June does not make sense. Okay, and remaining is fine. It's 47 degrees out here, and then we have the options. Okay, so I hope you have understood this one. So the correct answer for this one is option number A, which is month of June. That was the error. Moving on to the next one. Past of a Parts of a given sentence have been given as options. One of them contains grammatical error. Select the option that has the error. The sentence is negotiations have reached such a state as management and union leaders are apprehensive that their differences can no longer be reconciled. The options that we have are can no longer be reconciled, negotiations have reached such a state as that their differences. Okay, the correct phrase here should be such a state that. Okay, so negotiations have reached such a state that. Okay, so it should say such a state that. Okay, so the correct answer should be this one, which we have the option as option number C. So the correct answer in this case will be option C, which has error. So the correct sentence without any errors should look like something like this. That is, negotiations have reached such a state that management and union leaders are apprehensive that their differences can no longer be reconciled. Okay. So moving on to the next question. Each sentence in the given paragraph contains 4 phrases. 3 of these phrases have been correctly used and one has been incorrectly used. Select the phrase from among the following options that best replaces incorrect phrase in the sentence. Let's read the sentence first. The ability of Sherpas to brave the vagaries of high altitudes has helped them to prosper, and they have come along the way from being just porters to becoming mountaineers. Okay, if required, just read the sentence twice because it is very important. If you read the sentence completely, then you might get a hint, okay, what could be the correct answer or where the problem or the incorrectness is there. So let's see the options now. Came a long way to be capacity on higher altitudes. See, the easiest and the best approach of solving these questions is try to fit in these options in the correct place. For example, option A is come a long way. Okay, so try to fit this here and see if the sentence is making sense. If it is, then this was the only error part. Okay, so let's try to fit in. The ability of Sherpas to brave the vagaries of high altitudes has helped them to prosper, and they have come a long way from being just porters to becoming mountaineers. So this is absolutely correct because this is the correct replacement, whereas come along the way is not correct in this case. Okay, so hope you have understood it. So guys, before we move forward, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done yet, and also make sure to check the complete playlist on the channel for your complete preparation. Let's now move on to the next question.
Okay, we have another question. Select the most appropriate options to fill in the blanks in the given passage. So we have been given a passage. We have to find out of these 4 options which one will fit in the most appropriately. Okay, the paragraph that we have is the capacity of art dash a strong source of its contemporary appeal. We are we are conscious that individually and collectively we dash art can be valuable when it disrupts or astonishes us. The options that we have are to shock remains for same, grow complacent. To shock remains for same, may go complacent. See, the first option is always same. Last one is mostly changing. May go complacent, may grown complacent. Okay, so the correct answer in this case is option number C. Let's read the correct answer with the final, like by filling the difference or the options. To shock remains for same. Okay, it will come here, and the remaining one may grow complacent. Okay, I don't think the option 2 or 3 has any difference. Maybe there might be some difference because of typing is mistake. They both are looking same, but the correct answer is this one which we are discussing. The final answer or the correct paragraph should look something like this. The capacity of art to shock remains same as a strong source of its contemporary appeal. We are conscious that individually and collectively we may grow complacent. Art can be valuable when it disrupts or astonishes. Moving on to the next question. We have a passage. In the following passage, some words have been deleted. Read the passage carefully and select the most appropriate option to fill in the blank. Okay, and these questions are very important to practice. So let's try that. Okay, the passage is, we lit the candles and dash in our hands and knees. Okay, so let's read the complete passage first, and then we will see what can fit in the blanks. We went about 200 yards and then the cave opened up. Tom soon dashed under a wall where there was a hole. We went along a narrow passage and got into kind of a room, all damp and sweaty and cold, and there we stopped. Tom said, now we'll start this dash of robbers and call it Tom Sawyer's gang. Everybody that wants to join has got to take an oath and write his name in blood. Everybody was dash, so Tom got out a sheet of paper. He had written the oath and read it. Okay, so see, we have different options. Okay, you have to try one by one options, try to fit in the options and try to read it. If the sentence, if the paragraph makes sense. Okay, so pause for a minute, try different options and come up with your solution, and then we will discuss our solution. Okay, so now let's discuss the solution for this one. The correct answer for this passage will be, like I'm writing it, we lit the candles and crawled in our hands and knees. We went about 200 yards and then a cave opened up. Tom soon ducked under a wall. Okay, duck means to move, duck means to step down and move. Okay, duck under a wall where there was a hole. We went along a narrow passage and got into kind of a room, all damp and sweaty and cold, and there we stopped. Tom said, now we'll start this band of robbers. Okay, and call it Tom Sawyer's gang. Everybody that wants to join has got to take an oath and write his name in blood. Everybody was willing. Okay, so Tom got out a sheet of paper. He had written the oath and read it. So the correct answer is option number B, which is crawled, dug, bent, and willing. Okay, if you have any doubts, let me know in the comment section. Moving on to the next question. Okay, again guys, I want to remind you, if you have not subscribed to the channel yet and if you are visiting the channel for the first time, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Also, by the end of this video there will be 2 DIY questions, so make sure that you attempt them and write the answers of those DIY questions in the comment box. Okay, let's now look at this question. In the following passage, some words have been deleted. Read the passage carefully and select the most appropriate option to fill in the blank. And these are very important questions, so you should have a good practice of these kinds of questions. Let's see the passage. Babies and young children are sponges that soak in practically everything in their environments. It's true, even during story time, their minds are at work. Dash, all the language they hear and lessons the characters learn, dash to your child at any age will boost their brain development and your bond so much more. And all it takes is a few books, motivation, and a dash time. Reading provides a wonderful opportunity for you and your child to dash. It's a nice way to spend time together and slow down during an otherwise hectic day. Let's check the options that we have. See, now we are given the options in this way, that in blank one, out of these four, which will be the correct one. For example, if we feel that out of these four, if B is the correct, then we will select B out of here. Then if we, in the second blank, if we feel A is correct, then next whatever is correct. So in this way we will find out, and the correct final options we will select from here. Okay, hope you have understood the question now. Let's try to just pause for a minute, think of the solution in your own mind, and then continue with the video. Now we will discuss the solution for it. Okay, so I'm reading the passage again. Babies and young children are sponges that soak in practically everything in their environments. It's true, even during story time, their minds are at work. Dash. So in this dash, what will come is C, okay, which means taking down. Their minds are at work, taking down all of their language they hear and lessons the character learn. Dash to your child. So the correct answer for this one is reading. Reading to your child at any age will boost their brain development and your bond so much more, and all it takes is a few books, motivation, and a dash time. Okay, so dash time means what? A little time. Okay, in this one the correct answer will be a little time. And next is reading provides a wonderful opportunity for you and your child to dash. Okay, so the correct answer in this case is connect. So here it will come connect. Okay, see, now you have to decide when you will come to every option. You will be having four options. You have to try fitting in each option. Like for example, reading provides us a wonderful opportunity for you and your child to join. See, it does not make sense. Attach also is like physical attachment, that is also not good, right? So which is like does not make grammatically sense, right? So relate also, child cannot relate, right? They don't have that much of sense. So the correct answer in this case will be connect. So in this way you have to think of by putting all the four options in each blank and see which one is the most appropriate, and then you will be having these kinds of options in the end. So now let's see what all are the options that we have got. First one was C, second one is B, third one is A, and fourth one is D. So C, B, A, D is our options. Let's see if we have that. C, B, A, D. Okay, I think we don't have C, B, A, D. Maybe there is some typing mistake in the options, but the correct sequence is this only. Okay, so the correct answer for this one is C, B, A, D. Okay, let's move on to the next question now. Okay, we have this question. Select the options in which underlying idiom penny wise, pound foolish has been used appropriately. We have been given a idiom and we have to see which sentence has the most correct usage of this idiom. Okay, let's read all the four options. Overcoming student debt rapidly may provide a psychological win. However, it is often penny wise, pound foolish, coming at the expense of long-term financial security. Option B, I just think that it is penny wise and pound foolish if we invest in having a detailed analysis done. Option C is a growing business always requires being penny wise and pound foolish. And option D is the plans to cut funding and are penny wise and pound foolish and hence fruitful. Okay, so see, before we move any forward, let me tell you what does actually penny wise and pound foolish means. Okay, so I'll write the meaning for you over here so that you can decide yourself which will be the correct one. So it refers to being careful, okay, about small insignificant expenses. Okay, it refers to what? It refers to being careful about small insignificant expenses while being careless for what? Careless or wasteful with larger costs. Okay, there are some people who thinks a lot about small expenses, but they are careless with the larger cost. Okay, ideally you should be good with the good in saving with the larger cost, then it will be good for you, right? So those kind of people, or for those kinds of situations, we used penny wise and penny wise and pound foolish. Okay, so it is pound foolish. Okay, like with penny wise you are wise, but with pound you are foolish. Basically, pound has a greater value and penny has a lesser value. With uh, lesser penny you are being wise, and with the greater pound which has a greater value you are being foolish. So that is what it means. So now try to think of the options and see which one is the correct one. Okay, so I'll tell you the correct answer out of these. The correct answer is option number A, which is this one, this sentence, which is overcoming student debt one. So the correct answer is this one. Okay, hope you have understood it. If you have any doubts at any point, let me know in the comment section. Okay, let's look at this question. 4 idioms are given below. Choose their sequence that would fill in the blanks and complete the text given below. My boss was caught red-handed while engaging in fraudulent activities, and it's time for him to. The first option, that what we can fill out of these 4 options, for that it is second one, which is like this one, battle down the hatches. So the correct thing that will come here is battle down the hatches. It's time for him to battle down the hatches for the upcoming inquisition by the board members. In the past, he has taken credit of my presentation, and now, unbeknown to him, I am going to quietly even the score in the next board meeting. Okay, which means I am going to quietly like take the revenge. Okay, as such, we can even say even the score. I am going to quietly even the score in the next board meeting. There is no chance of him escaping the truth, and he will have to face the music. Face the music. It's time that he gets his comeuppance. Okay. Face the music means what? Whatever he has done, he will face it back. And it's time that he gets his comeuppance. So the correct answer for this question will be what? You can see battle down, okay, which is B, or you can say in this numbers are given. So it's 2, so 2, 4, 1, 3. Okay, this one. Okay. Now before we move on to the next question, let me tell down the meaning of all of this. Battle down the hatch means what? Means to prepare for a trouble or a challenging situation. Okay. So see, let's read the paragraph once again last time. My boss was caught red-handed while engaging in a fraudulent activities, and it's time for him to battle down the hatch. It's time for him to battle down the hatch means to prepare for trouble or challenging situation by the board members. In the past, he has even taken credit for my presentation, and now, unbeknown to him, I'm going to quietly even the score. Even the score means to take revenge or retaliate for something unfair. In the next board meeting, there is no chance of him escaping the truth, and he will have to face the music. Face the music means he has to accept or face the consequences of it. It's time that he gets his comeuppance, okay, which means he deserves the punishment or like retribution of whatever the wrongdoing that he has done. Hope you have understood how to solve these kinds of questions. Moving on to the next question now. Select the most appropriate set of idioms that would fill in the blanks and complete the given passage. We have this passage, okay, we have this blanks here, 1, 2, 3 and 4. We have to find out what will come in this place. Okay, let's read it. According to the report released by Global Coral Reef Monitoring Network, global warming has killed 14% of the world's coral reefs in decade, and more will be dash. Okay, so the answer that will come here will be phased out. Okay, and more will be phased out if the oceans keep rising in temperature. Climate change is the biggest threat to the world's reefs, says Paul Hardesty, CEO of the Australian Institute of Marine Science. There are clearly dash towards coral loss. Okay, dash is what? Unsettling trends. There are clearly unsettling trends towards the coral loss, and we can expect these to continue if we dash, if we sit over the problem. Okay, sit over the problem as in if we don't do anything, if we sit over the problem and do nothing to reverse the change. As per the report, corals in many parts of Asia and Gulf are amongst the dash hardest hit. Okay, so hard hitting, amongst the hard hitting. So I hope you have understood it. The correct answer for this one are like these differences or the blanks needs to be filled in these sentences. Moving on to the next question. Select sentences of a paragraph are given below in jumbled order. Arrange the sentences in the correct order to form a meaningful and coherent paragraph. Let's read the sentences first, and at the end we will rearrange them. So the sentences are: while firms have always had significant market power over their workers, what has changed recently is the weakening of collective bargaining, which allows workers to challenge powerful firms in wage negotiations. Some ascribe continued low industrial wages to the concentration of powers in hands of few firms, but this is only part of the story. Since the 1980s, politicians have been freeing one side of the labor market in the name of competition by restricting the power of trade unions, but doing very little about the power firms. Wages are also affected by firms colluding tacitly, and estimated one in five jobs in the US is now covered by a non-complete clause which restricts workers from moving to rival firms. So now let's see the what is the correct arrangement in this case. First sentence will be this one. Since 1980s, politicians have been freeing one side of the labor market in the name of competition by restricting the power of trade unions, but doing very little about the power of firms. Okay, the sentence will start with this. Then the next sentence is going to be: some ascribe continued low industrial wages to the concentration power in hands of a few firms, but this is only the part of the story. Okay, next sentence that is going to come in the sequence is: while firms have always had significant market power over their workers, what has changed recently is the weakening of collective bargaining, which allows workers to challenge powerful firms in wage negotiations. And the final sentence will be this one: wages are also affected by firms. So this one is the final one. So the correct sequence is 3, 2, 1, 4, which is option number 4. So the correct answer in this case is option number 4. Okay, this one. Moving on to the next question. Again, we have some sentences and we are given them like they are given in the jumbled order. We need to rearrange them and we have to find the correct arrangement. Let's read the sentences quickly. In some places in China, the loss of insects is so great that armies of people have to fan out to pollinate crops by hand. In the absence of insects doing these jobs, insect populations worldwide are under threat, and estimated 40% of all species are declining and 1/3 of them are endangered. Habitat loss often implies the destructions of rainforest, but the processes can be more mundane. The conversion of a field of wildflowers into a meal would have the same effect for insects. The decline in the world's insect population is bad news, and as they play critical roles in pollinating plants, breaking down the waste in forest soil, and forming the base of a food chain we are upon. So let's see the sequence for this question now. See, the first sentence, the sentence initially will start with second one, which is like from here. Insects pollinates worldwide are under threat. An estimated 40% of all the species are declining and 1/3 of them are endangered. Okay, the next in the series that will come will be this one, fourth one. Okay, the decline in world's insects population is a bad news, and as they play critical roles in pollinating plants, breaking down waste in forest soil, and forming the base of a food chain we rely upon. Okay, the next term that will come in the series is this one. In some places in China, the loss of insects is so great that the armies of people have to fan out pollinate crops by hand in the absence of insects doing this job. Okay, and the final one will be this one, that is habitat loss often implies the destructions of rainforest, but the process can be more mundane. The conversion of a field of wildflowers to a male would have the same effect for insects. So this was the correct rearrangement of sentence, and this will make the sentence a meaningful one. So the correct answer in this case is option number 1, which is 2413. Moving on to the next question. For 4 sentences, S1 to S4, paragraph below sentences S1 and S4 are given. Okay, so we have sentences S1 and S4. We need to find what will come in S2 and S3 based on the options that are given to us. Let's try to read the S1 and S4 first. Just last week, the Victorian Court of Appeal significantly reduced the sentence given to Akon Goad, a mother of 3 children who killed 3 of her children. Now, what will come in S2 and S3, we need to figure it out. But let's see the last sentence which we have in the paragraph. Surveys have shown that almost half of the Australian prison entrants report being affected by a mental disorder. Okay. Now let's see what will come in option number sentence number 2. In sentence number 2, the correct one that will come is this one. The main reason for the 8.5 years since 8.5 year sentence reduction was that the judge had not sufficiently taken God's major depression into account. Okay. So this will come here. And then what will come next is this one. It is common for offenders to have mental health problems. Okay. And then the sentence will continue. So the correct answer in this case will be QR. Let's move on to the next question. Select the most appropriate meaning of the underlined idiom in the following sentence. So we have been given a sentence. We have to find the most meaningful, and this is the underlined word. The financial year closing has all of us snowed under. Okay, and the options that we have is busy, feeling cold, depressed, and clueless. Okay, so what is, first of all, you should understand what is snowed under means. Okay, snowed under is basically an idiom. Okay, it means being overwhelmed or overloaded with work of or responsibilities. So out of these four options, busy is the one which mostly suits. Okay, because as I told, snowed under means overburdened with work. Okay, like it's like too much busy, it's keeping us very busy. Moving on to the next question. Okay, now we have this question. We have been given a sentence. We have to see which of these words can is a suitable word for this complete sentence. Okay, or the personality of the person in this sentence. So the sentence is, Ritesh is a person who believes like a servant by always, who behaves like a servant by always obeying. Okay, and the options that we have is people pleaser, yes ma'am, lackey, and submissive. So the correct answer in this case will be lackey. Okay, so if you are not aware, the word lackey, what does it means is, a lackey refers to a person who is excessively obedient or submissive, often in a servile manner, which fits the context of this sentence which is given to us. So the correct answer in this case is lackey. So which means Ritesh is being lackey by being by behaving like a servant and obeying everyone every time. Okay, moving on to the next question. Select the most appropriate option to fill in the blanks in the given passage. We have been given a paragraph, and there are two different fill in the blanks. We have to fill the correct answers in this one. Let's read the paragraph. A large number of industries dash post-independent India in the public, private and joint sectors, Bhilai, Bokaro, Ranchi, Jamshedpur, Renukoot, etc. dash emerged as major centers during the first 1.5 decades of independence. So the correct options, the correct answer for this one is going to be option number B, which is have been established, emerged as major centers. Let's read the final sentence by putting in these options. Have been established. A large number of industries have been established post-independence India in the private, public and joint sectors. Bhilai, Bokaro, Ranchi, Jamshedpur, Renukoot, etc. emerged as major centers. Emerged as major centers during the first one. Okay, by mistakenly I have already written this option, but this was like a part of the fill in the blank only. Okay, now moving on to the next question. Given below is a paragraph with 5 sentences which are presented in a jumbled order. Write down the best order which would form the meaningful, unified and coherent paragraph. Okay, so let's quickly read the options. Extreme ghosting can be considered gaslighting, the practice of manipulating someone psychologically so that they doubt their sanity or understanding of a situation. The practice of ending a relationship without explaining to the partner and avoiding any communication attempts is named ghosting. Orbiting is identical to ghosting, but the disengager still visibly follows the former partner on social media. It is psychologically abusive and often undetectable within relationships, and it is extremely hard to tell when it's happening to you, which by design. The psychological and behavioral reactions to ghosting and orbiting pass through different stages of reactions before closure happens in the form of acceptance. Whether you have been gaslighted, ghosted, orbited, or a therapist says having the name or for the behavior you are experiences can be beneficial for understanding what happened to you and figuring out a way to move past it. Okay, so now I'll just directly give you the correct order. Okay, the correct order for this question will be B, D, A, C, E. Okay, since this is a big questions, we are not going to like read it again. Okay, in the correct order, but this is the correct answer for your reference. Okay, let's now move on to the next question. We have 4 sentences. Okay, S1 to S4. We need to find out what will come in S2 and S3 out of the given 4 options. Let's read S1 and S4 which is given to us first. One Kashmiri morning in the early spring of 1915, my grandfather hit his nose against a frost-hardened tussock of earth while attempting to pray. Okay, and S4 is, at the moment he resolved near again to kiss earth for any god or man. Okay, the second sentence that will come in this one is this one, that is P. 3 drops of blood plopped out of his left nostril, hardened instantly in the brittle air, and lay before his eyes on the prayer mat. transforming into rubies. Okay, means as far as he fallen down, the like blood came out of his nose. Okay, and then it is told like how blood got froze in the like cold. Next option will be R. Okay, so lurching back until he knelt with his hand one more uptight, he found that the tears which had solidified too, and at the moment as he brushed diamonds contemptuously from his lashes. Okay, because of pain, tears also came from his eyes. That is what is told here. And then at the moment he resolved never to kiss again, never again to kiss the earth for any god or man. Okay, which means he thought in his mind that he will never fall again and he will walk carefully. So guys, we have seen many questions now, and we have practiced a lot of question already. Now I have two DIY questions for you. This is your DIY question number 1. What you need to do is you need to write down the answer of these questions by attempting it yourself in the comment box. Okay, let's read the question. Choose the correct option to fill in the blank. The question is, he was so tired that he could dash keep his eyes open. The options are hardly, nearly, mostly and closely. Okay, make sure to attempt it and write down the answer in the comment section. The second DIY question that we have is, select the appropriate preposition to complete the sentence. The sentence is, she is proficient dash French and Spanish. The options are in, at, on and with. Okay, make sure to attempt both the questions and write down the answer in the comment section.
So guys, that's all for today's video. I hope you found it helpful, and if you do, please give it a like. If you have any more doubts, please drop them in the comment section. You can also join me on Telegram and follow me on Instagram as well. You can ask your queries over Instagram DM too. Make sure to subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss on any of the important updates or notification whenever I upload a new video. That's all for this video. Thanks for watching the video.